This is an overview of the game. EDPS is a turn-based board game. Number of players of this game is 5 people with 1 game master. The game is played in 6 sets with 15 minutes per set. A player who has the highest score after the 90-minute playing time wins. The currencies in the game are as follows from the left. Each currency indicates specific point. At the beginning of the game, each player is given 15 points in the form of 1 gold plate, 3 silver bars and 4 silver plates as initial funds. How can a player earn a point? Type of player's role defines how many points can be earned. There are 2 types of role, namely product provider and service provider, with 3 and 2 positions, respectively. Let's decide the role first. A player can earn money by taking an action on his or her turn. The action depends on the player's role. Information of tools which are handled by the product providers. The product providers use the areas of warehouse, market, waste, and factory on the game board. Firstly, the product providers need to choose the product to sell. Each product provider selects 1 color consecutively. So the 3 product providers will sell the 3 different products. This condition represents a production planning in the companies. Similar to the real practice, the product providers need to decide the price of the products. Thus, let's decide the product price of each color. A product provider player decides the price of the product by rolling the dice. If number 1 to 3 roll out, the product price is 4 points, and if number 4 to 6 roll out, the product price is 5 points. This expresses that the price varies depending on the product. Production is an action of the product providers. Production is when the product providers move the product from the factory to their own warehouse. They can place only 4 products in the warehouse. The product providers need to pay 2 points times retail for production. Next is about sales. Selling is an action that the players put the produced products on the market. This is limited to 2 products at a time. In sales, the product providers can receive points, and the received amount is the product price times the sold number. The following is about the product life cycle. Products are disposed after installation, use, and maintenance. Once the product is sold, the product providers must move the product cube to the next step at the beginning of each turn. This is because each product has a different life cycle. Once the product is sold, the product goes through the market as shown below. If the color of the product is blue, it goes through the blue area twice. Next is about tools used by service providers. Service providers use the service field on the game board. Next is about preparation of service providers. First, the service providers decide the color to deploy the service. The color represents which product of the service is dedicated to. Since there are only 2 service providers, so 1 color is left. Next, let's decide the service price. If the product price is 3 or 4 points, the service price is 1 point, and if the product price is 5 or 6 points, the service price is 2 points. Next, let's decide the professional services. There are 4 product life cycle phases that are: introduction, use, maintenance, and disposal. Each service provider can choose one phase as the specialized service to provide from these 4 types of phases. There is a development that the service providers draw a service card as an action. This is limited to 4 cards at a time. It costs money to draw cards. The service providers need to pay 1 point per professional card and 4 points per non-professional card. Next is about launch. Launch is an action to deploy the card in the service field. This is limited to 2 at a time. Look at the diagram below. For example, if a yellow player has an installation card, the player can place the card in the yellow and installation area as shown. At this time, please put at least 1 point of investment. Next is about overwriting. This is to remove another player's card and deploy a new card. When the players overwrite a new card, the card needs to be more competitive than the previous card. The competition of the service is the total of the number of marks printed on the card and investment money. In the figure below, the number of marks on the card is 2 points and the investment money is 2 points, so the competition of the service is 4 points. In order to overwrite this card, you must have a total service competition of 5 points or more. So when do the service providers get money? Money will be charged if the target product enters the phase of service launch. The service providers will receive equal to the service price times the entered number. This means that in the service of app distribution, a margin occurs when the user is using a smartphone. Look at the diagram below. The product moves on the board in this way. If it is a blue product, money will come in as shown in the figure when the card is placed in the blue area.